We are meant to call from out of the past stories, strange and weird.
Tales of mystery and terror by radio's masters of the macabre.
Stories of the supernatural, the supernormal, dramatized by fantasy, the mystery, the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginary plays, we urge you calmly and sincerely to turn off your radio now.
This is The Horror, listener-supported old-time radio horror stories brought to you every Saturday by RelicRadio.com and made possible by you, the listener. If you'd like to help support this and all of the shows, help keep them coming every week, visit donate.relicradio.com or click on that donate link on the website. Your support makes it all happen. Thanks very much to those who have, and thanks for joining me today. We're going to hear from the Hall of Fantasy, a mutual series of an estimated 207 episodes. There's only about 40 of them that have survived. Aired primarily in the late 1940s and early 1950s. Our story today was first heard May 4th, 1953, but this sounds like a rebroadcast if you listen to the commercials. The story is The Idol of Cruac. Here's the Hall of Fantasy.
And now, the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the series of radio dramas dedicated to the supernatural, the unusual, and the unknown. Come with me, my friends. We shall descend to the world of the unknown and forbidden, down to the depths where the veil of time is lifted, and the supernatural reigns as king. Come with me and listen to the tale of The Idol of Cruac.
Cruac, a huge golden idol surrounded with a council of 12. Cruac, to whom human sacrifice was made. Cruac, a name stretching back into the misty and half-forgotten years of the past, back to the time of the Druids, Caesar, and the Roman invasion of England. Back in time where history becomes vague and guesses. Yet, through those years, from the mists of ancient remembrance to the modern world of today, there echoes the name of Cromm. I'd gone up with Matt and Susan Stevens to the hunting and fishing lodge they had in the Appalachians. At the end of April, we went to straighten up the lodge, lay in a supply of provisions for the coming spring and summer. The second night we were there, one of those sudden spring storms.
Oh, I'm glad we're inside. You'll be caught out there in that storm.
More coffee, Mark?
Oh, I've had 4 cups already. When you get married, you'll be a lucky man, Jack. Isn't every woman that can brew coffee the way my sister can?
I realize that.
What about you, Dad? Any more coffee?
No. But I heard something.
Like what?
I don't know.
I didn't hear anything.
It must have been the wind.
It won't be long before the fishing season opens.
Yeah,
I can hardly wait to get up here with my rod and reel.
We laid in a fairly large supply of food. The only things we'll need to pick up are eggs and bread and...
Yeah, I heard it too.
Someone's calling for help. Come on. We'll slip our slickers on.
Yeah. You better keep the coffee hot, Sue. We may be bringing someone back with us.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Right. Oh, it's a rotten night.
I wonder who that is out there.
Maybe someone who got lost.
We'd better call to him. Maybe he can hear us. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello out there. Where are you? Let's try it together.
All right.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Listen.
I can't tell a thing with this storm. Where are you? By the lake. Could ask which one, but I'm afraid he wouldn't understand. Let's try our lake.
Right.
We're coming for you. I don't mind looking for someone who's lost if they just wouldn't get themselves lost on a rainy night.
I hope he's just lost.
What do you mean?
But I hope it's nothing more than that.
Oh, it won't be. Try calling him again.
All right.
Hello? Must be right up ahead.
He must be pretty close.
Hey, look down there. Someone lying on the ground. Oh, when the lightning flashes.
Come on.
Yeah. Watch your step. Don't worry.
Hey, I
There he is. Are you all right? What's the matter with him? Why doesn't he answer?
Can't. I just felt his pulse. He's dead. We decided to carry him back to the cabin. It's pretty heavy, and pouring rain made it extremely difficult to keep our footing as we struggled up against the storm. He actually hadn't been farther away than 1,000 feet, but it took us almost half an hour to get him back up the slope to the lodge.
Open up, Stu!
Oh, you found it.
Yeah, that's right.
We'd better set him down on the cot in my room.
Right.
But what's the matter with him?
All right. Set him down.
Okay.
Did he pass out?
No,
Well, then,
he's dead.
what are you going to do with him?
Just a minute. Look at the clothes he's wearing.
Oh, I don't see. Looks like he was going to a costume ball. Looks like he came over on the Mayflower. Clothes he's wearing went out of style hundreds of years ago.
But what would a man be doing out in the storm in clothes like those?
I don't know.
Oh, what was that?
He had something in his hand. Looks like there's a statue of some kind. Look at it. It's hollow. There's a piece of paper inside. Wait a minute, let's see what it says.
What does it say, Jack?
It's a map of some kind.
There's a line drawn on it. And it's right here.
Look, that little irregular circle down there, that looks like Mirror Lake, where we found it.
It's not called Mirror Lake in this map. It says Old Beltane. It's written in Old English.
Old English.
That's right. Ever read the Canterbury Tales? Notice the spelling on this map. It's the same.
Well, you're right.
Trail on the map. He must have been following it. If that's Mirror Lake, then he came over the mountains right here.
Yeah, but there's no path through the mountains at that point.
This map says there is. He was following it. You know, we'd better follow the trail on the map. We can let them know what happened. They can come back and get him.
It doesn't seem to be too far.
I don't think it is. What about it?
I guess we might as well.
Soon?
I guess so.
We'll leave him here, and we can bring them back, and they can take him back with them.
What was that?
I don't know.
Hey, something's opened the door.
What's the matter?
Oh, look! Out there by the trees. An old woman. Clothed all in black.
From the golden age of radio theater, you're listening to the Hall of Fantasy. We'll continue in just a moment.
The Arriva Rainbow Showroom presents the hilarious comedy of Pat Cooper on Friday, September 13th. Truly one of the finest comedians of our time. You're guaranteed to laugh from the beginning of this show to the end. Pasquale Caputo, known as Pat Cooper, was a favorite opening act for Frank Sinatra in Las Vegas and concert halls all across the country. Now he performs regularly in Atlantic City and Las Vegas to sold-out audiences as well as major theaters. In the past year, Pat has appeared on top television shows including Seinfeld, Letterman, Regis and Kathy Lee, Howard Stern, and many more. Pat Cooper's long-awaited return to Arriva will bring people from everywhere to see him, so don't miss this show. Enjoy all the great dinner shows coming to Arriva. L'Oreal, Pat Cooper, Sam Butera, the Stan Kenton Tribute, Dick Contino, the Gaylords, and Soupy Sales, too. Seating is limited. Call Arriva at 810-573-8100 for reservations. Arriva, located on 12 Mile Road, west of Van Dyke. When you open a window, it should stay open. And when your windows are closed, you shouldn't feel a draft. If your windows leak, stick, or just look bad, it's time to replace them. Time to call Century 21 Home Improvements at 1-800-633-2222. Call now and save 10%, up to $750 on premium custom fit windows. That's Century 21 Home Improvements, America's most experienced home improvements business. For replacement windows, they will always open and easy to clean with a custom fit that means no more drafts. Call 1-800-633-2222 for a free in-home estimate. Call now and you'll save 10%, up to $750. Not available in all areas. The offer ends September 30th. Sold, furnished, and installed by American Remodeling Incorporated, an independently owned and operated contractor. Not valid on prior sales or with any other offer. Need new windows? Call Century 21 Home Improvements now at 1-800-633-2222. That number again is 1-800-633-2222. U.S. offer only.
And now back to the Hall of Fantasy.
The dead man we had brought back to the cabin with us had held a small statuette in his hand. It had fallen to the floor, and inside it we found a strange map with a trail outlined on it. We decided to follow that trail to reach his people and let them know what had happened to them. Suddenly, the door had thrown open and Susan screamed.
That old woman. And she's pointing at us.
I don't see anything, Sue.
So do I.
I was sure I'd seen something.
Close the door, Jack.
Right.
Now, there's nothing out there, Sue. Nothing at all.
Maybe not, but what about that strange wailing cry we heard?
I'll admit I heard something, but what it was, I don't know.
Probably an animal frightened of the storm.
I'm not so sure.
Don't worry about it, Sue. Well, we might as well turn in now if we're going to hit the trail early tomorrow.
We turned in for the night. Several times as I lay there in my cot, I thought I heard a strange wailing cry. But I put that down to my imagination. Yet for some reason, I was afraid. I fell off to sleep about 1 o'clock. Sometime during the night, the skies cleared and the storm was over. We got up at 6, and by 7 o'clock, we scudded out on the trail. For a while, it was easy going, but about 9 in the morning, we hit a stretch that was very difficult for us to follow. Be very careful. One misstep might be the last one you take.
We're up pretty high. I've never been up here before. Have you, Matt?
No, I don't think anyone has.
Why did you both bring guns?
Can't tell what we might meet up here.
The map's been pretty accurate, Jack. Every lake, every stream, even where the trail gets rough.
That's right. The Twin Peaks are right in front of us.
Yes, but I can't see any way to get through.
Well, according to the map, there's a narrow passage between the peaks.
Oh, I hope it's right.
It's been right so far. Watch your step.
Don't worry. I will.
In a short while, we came to a clearly defined trail. The terrain over which we had just passed seemed almost a barrier so that no one could get in or out except with great danger. We came at last to a solid wall of rock. 1,000 feet above us towered the Twin Peaks.
I don't see any way of going any farther.
There's nothing but solid rock up ahead. Wait a minute.
What do you see?
Come on. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I see an opening.
Matt, you were right. There is an opening just large enough for a man to walk through.
According to the map, the trail ends behind those peaks.
I wonder what we'll find there.
I don't know, but we won't find anything unless we start through. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't hear myself think.
That's because the wind's rushing through here.
You two had better concentrate on getting through. It gets narrower up ahead.
The passage between the rocks twisted and turned. Some places so narrow that we had literally squeezed ourselves through. Several times we thought we'd have to turn back. The obstacle was overcome and we pushed ahead. With the wind always howling about us.
Look! It's widening.
Just another few feet to go.
Yeah. There's the end of it. Come on.
I hope we find his relative. It's going to be a hard sit back.
Look.
Oh, a hidden valley. Surrounded on all sides by the mountains.
The trail we followed must be the only way in.
Well, I see some houses down there.
Matt, look at them again.
Why?
You don't build houses like that nowadays. I almost think I was in old England.
Look.
Where?
Oh, there. That man is coming, and he's dressed just like the other one was.
He seems friendly.
From where did he come? From outside?
From the other side of the peaks.
But true, he come from the outside then. How did he find this?
We had a map. One of your people, we found him last night during the storm. He was dead.
He did not have to come to tell us. Cromm did.
Cromm?
Aye. Come, I shall take you to him.
The man led us down the slope onto the valley floor. We followed him, and he seemed friendly enough, talking always in that queer, antiquated way of his. I noticed as we walked that others followed us. They said nothing, trailing us silently, and I got the crazy idea that we were prisoners. He led us away from the houses into an area thick with oak trees, finally taking us into a clearing surrounded completely by those giant oaks.
Look there.
Yes, I see them.
13 giant statues, just like the small one the dead man had in his hand. 12 stone, and Well, in the center is gold.
Why don't these people say something? They just stand there watching.
That statue in the center, the gold one. It almost seems to be alive. It seems like it's watching us.
That's what I think, too.
Listen.
It's a drum of some kind.
Who are these people? The clothes they wear. I've seen costume movies and plays where they wore clothes like that, but no one wears clothes like that now.
Druids.
What was that?
Of course. Druids. Don't you remember your history, Matt? I should have known.
No, what?
Listen. You saw the oak tree surrounding this place. And you can see the 12 statues and the gold one in the center. That's the Council of 12, and the gold statue is Cromm. We've stumbled on something out of the pages of history.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Of course you have. Caesar's legions found them when they first invaded England. The worship of Cromm was forbidden, just as the worship of Sybil, the Magna Mater, was forbidden. But the Druidic priests kept the belief alive. And then in 1641, all traces of the Druids disappeared from England.
What happened to them?
Well, according to the evidence, an unknown ship left England in May of that year. It was ostensibly bound for the same area where the Mayflower colonists landed. But it never reached here. Or so they thought. But they must have reached here, found this hidden valley, and kept their people and beliefs alive. These must be their descendants. What's the date?
The date? 1st of May.
It's the day they sacrificed offerings to Cromm.
What?
That's right. Some parts of Ireland, the Scottish Highlands, and in Brittany, the day is still celebrated. Not with human sacrifice as it used to be, but with token sacrifice.
Human sacrifice.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Look.
There's a man in a white robe.
He's raising his arms.
Cromm has returned to us, not one, but three. This night, let the telltale fire has been slain. Then we shall offer not one, but three to the idol of Cromm.
What does he mean? Offer 3?
Tonight they intend to sacrifice us. To offer us a sacrifice to Cromm.
From the Golden Age of Radio Theater, you're listening to the Hall of Fantasy. We'll continue in just a moment.
If one face got you blue, you need Tide with bleach.
Barbecue is what I like. Barbecues are out of sight. 1 rib, 2 ribs, 3 ribs, 5. Baked fruit punch, blueberry pie. 1 thing, 2 things, 3 no less. My favorite church, a big old mess. Ribs and soaked and scream about it. Don't know how to get the things out. I drink a mess, don't know what to do. Wash days got me feeling good.
Tide with Bleach Ultra 2 has a unique activated bleaching system that removes many tough stains better than other leading regular detergents. Plus, Tide with Bleach Ultra 2 helps keep colors bright.
Don't let the water stay blue, make you run and hide. It's got to be clean, it's got to be tidy.
Use Tide with Bleach and wash away the wash day blue.
And now, back to the Hall of Fantasy.
We'd followed the trail on the map and had come through a narrow path between the mountains to discover a valley hidden from the world for over 350 years. A valley where modern civilization had not made any inroads. A people who held to the customs and strange beliefs of their forebears. Now we stood before the shrine of the Druids, before the stone council of 12, and the grinning golden idol of Cromm.
What does he mean? Offer 3?
Tonight they intend to sacrifice us. To offer us a sacrifice to the idol of Cromm.
Are you serious?
Of course I am.
What are we going to do?
We have our guns.
We wouldn't stand a chance with them right now. There's too many people here. We'll have to wait till later when so many of them aren't around. Then we can make our move.
But what are they going to do with us now?
Now, let's wait and see.
Well, they're through chatting.
Yes, and their leader is coming toward us.
Yes, things.
We found one of your people outside beyond the mountains. We wanted to tell you that he was dead.
The hag of Beltane followed him. A spectral woman clothed in the garb of black. She rode upon his shoulders and struck him down.
The old woman I saw last night, remember?
Your eyes perceived the hag of Beltane.
I saw someone last night, an old woman.
And did she hear a wailing sound?
Yes, we did.
Then she has served Cromm well. For she destroyed a traitor who was appeared to feed the hunger of Cromm. And she sent back 3 to take his place. Aye, Cromm will be joyful tonight.
What do you mean by that?
Surely you must know that he has been chosen to be sacrificed to Cromm. And before the Council of 12, he should be happy, strangers. Tonight, when the moon is full and high in the sky of Beltane, then shall ye meet Cromm and satisfy his hunger with your blood.
The leader raised his arm, and in an instant we were surrounded by these strange people. They led us to a structure directly behind the golden idol of Cromm. It was surrounded by a half-circle of trees, giant oaks, a half-circle such as the 12 stone idols made, fanning out on either side of Cromm. They secured the doors and put a guard outside, lest we should try to escape.
What are we going to do?
There's nothing we can do right now. We'll have to wait.
We still have our guns and ammunition.
How much ammunition did you bring?
A couple of boxes. You?
About the same.
Jack, how much do you know about the Druids?
Just a little.
What about the ceremonial sacrifice?
Well, they built a fire tonight, a colossal fire. They call it the Beltane fire.
Then what happens?
They'll expect us to run through it. The sacrificial altars on the other side, just before the golden idol of Cromm. They think the fire purifies us, makes us fit to be sacrificed to Cromm.
How horrible.
Our only chance is in trying to escape.
Yes, but how?
Fire. The Beltane fire.
What?
What?
I think I have an idea that they let us escape. At any rate, it's worth trying. If it works, we'll live. If it doesn't, it won't make any difference to us after we're dead. I outlined my plan to Matt and Susan. They wouldn't make any move to escape until we stood before the Beltane fire. Then we'd make the move and hope that we succeeded. They kept us there without any food or water. As the sun settled down behind the western peaks and a darkening blue filtered through the sky, there was a great deal of activity outside. As the evening arrived, the drums began. They'll be coming for us soon now. Here, hold these in your hand.
Oh, I hope this works.
I smell smoke.
They've kindled the fire, then. Hey! Don't fight them!
Don't be fighters! Here, boys! Come quietly!
We're ready.
Then bring them! Take them to the Beltane fire!
Look! A gigantic bonfire!
Why, the flames must be 100 feet high.
Don't forget what you have to do.
Right.
The faces on those idols almost seem to be alive.
Especially the gold one.
Jack, that's so strange.
Right, for that matter.
Out there! At the very end of the fire! We stand before ye, Cromm, with not one offering, but 3. We know that ye will fire upon us, Cromm, for we shall walk through the Beltane fire, to the altar of sacrifice.
All right, throw the bullets into the fire now.
Why don't they go off?
It's time for them to heat up.
No, Cromm, we send them on their journey to the Beltane fire, to the sacrificial altar. Strangers, walk to the fire.
They're all going to go off in a second. Make a run for it.
I didn't think we'd ever make it.
Well, I didn't think we would either.
I'll never appreciate anything the way I appreciate this hunting lodge. But I'm going to sell it. I don't want to be anywhere near what I saw today.
Strange, isn't it? Well, it's 2,000 years old, and older, undoubtedly. The belief of the Druids and the magical properties of the oak tree, and the strange ceremony of the Beltane fire. Still believed in many parts of the world. The ceremony's been changed, of course, but they still make offerings to Cromm.
Cromm,
tonight's tale of the unusual, the terrifying, the unknown. Join us again when next we journey down the corridors of the Hall of Fantasy to hear another strange tale of the supernatural. All characters and events portrayed in these programs are fictional, and any similarity to actual events or persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
That's the horror for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back next Saturday with a story from Quiet Please. Between now and then, you can find more old-time radio, thousands of shows at relicradio.com. Our Shoutcast stream is up and running there, too. And don't forget to help support this and all of the shows, if you would, at donate.relicradio.com. Thanks to those who have. Thanks for joining me today. Talk to you again next Saturday with another episode of The Horror.
Strange Tales.
RelicRadio.com presents tales of the strange and bizarre, the weird and the wicked. Stories not necessarily of the supernatural, but of the unnatural. Join us now for Strange Tales, featuring radio drama at its most mysterious and unusual. Welcome back to Strange Tales. Thanks for joining me this Sunday. We're going to hear from Suspense this week. Series you know, aired from 1942 to 1962, and we're going to hear from that final year on today's episode. The story's titled The Sin Eater. It aired July 8th, 1962.
Tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. In a moment, Act 1 of The Sin Eater, written especially for Suspense by Bob Corcoran. This first portion of Suspense is brought to you by the makers of Parliament cigarettes.
Extra margin. Yes, extra margin. Smoke after smoke. Recessed filter Parliament is the cigarette that gives you an extra margin.
Every Parliament gives you extra margin. The filter's recessed and made to stay a neat, clean, quarter-inch away. Parliament gives you extra margin. You're smoking neat, you're smoking clean with Parliament today.
Know for sure, leastways till death comes after him. Rare enough sudden like, striking a man down.
You're just gonna sit there reading of the book.
How is he, Ma?
Same as he was, Jesse. So near being dead, I swear he slips across the Black River. And then his terrible fear brings him back again. Sleuth, I asked you. You just gonna sit there?
I figure praying for him ain't just sitting here.
Praying ain't no good for him, and you ought to know it.
What you expect me to do?
I expect you to let him die.
He knowed what he is doing all these years. You can't put it on me. Now, when it's time to pay...
Don't talk so. He's got the burden, not you. He's looking to lay in the ground while his soul walks in torment through the great gray world for all eternity, or burns in hellfires of damnation. His pain's so terrible, fierce. I see it staring out of his eyes like an animal in a trap. Death would be a mercy for any man, but he can't let himself die. Not yet, not like he is.
Each of us owes God a debt, and no man can pay for somebody else.
If only Isaac was here, he'd know what to do.
Isaac ain't one of us no more. He went down the mountain. He went forth from Gilead, left us in our ways behind him.
We was to ask Isaac for help. He just spout the law at us every which ways.
Got to do it ourselves. Got to do it right now.
Do what?
You got to go some other ways. You and Jesse here.
What for, Ma? What are me and Pa supposed to do?
You'll fetch someone, so's your grandpa can die. Someone ain't afeard like other folks around here. Someone ain't kin, so we'll let him do it.
But who? Who are we to fetch?
I don't care who. Someone, anyone, who can take his heavy burden.
Well, what if we don't find someone?
You got to. Jesse's most a growed man. Between you fetch someone.
Well, what if they don't want to come?
Make 'em.
Beautiful, isn't it, Lucille?
If I to that eye of the beholder line.
Oh.
Now I know what they mean by God-forsaken.
Too bad the scenery doesn't include some attentive young men.
Oh, don't start that again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm just a jealous old man with a young and too beautiful wife.
And a vivid imagination.
You're quite right. This will be good for both of us. A week among these hills, among simple people, away from all the strains of... You know, I became a teacher because I thought it would be the peaceful life.
I guess we both got fooled.
Oh, now, what's the matter with him? He has more than enough room to pass.
It's a police car.
Well, why is he waving me to stop? I wasn't speeding.
Maybe he wants your autograph. He was smiling.
Howdy.
Well, good afternoon. Anything wrong, officer? I'm sure I wasn't going too fast.
No, sir. Just wanted to check was you all right, not lost or nothing. And not many cars ever use this here back road.
Oh, I see. Well, no, we're not lost. Just taking a drive through these hills. My name is Reed. This is my wife.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Reed. And you, ma'am.
Hello.
Kind of dangerous, but the road's not so good.
Are the natives friendly?
Yes, ma'am. I come from around here myself.
I can see that you're friendly. Can't you, James?
My wife has a quaint sense of humor, officer.
Yes, sir.
Are there any communities near here?
Community?
Nests of natives, unspoiled and undiscovered. Oh, you see, officer, my husband is a specialist in folk music. Ballads, that sort of thing. He's still hoping to come across some tunes that Carl Sandburg missed.
That's so, ma'am?
Foreigners, isn't that what you call us?
Yes, sir. If I was you, Mr. Reed, I'd keep right on driving along. Headed right like you should bring you into Pyre. That's the next town, bit after dark. It's where I'm headed now.
You make it all sound dangerous, officer. Don't you think you'd better drive along and protect us?
It's an easy thing to scoff, ma'am, when the sun's shining. You take my advice, Mr. Reed, and drive right on into Pyre. I don't recollect ever hearing any ballad songs like you say around here.
Oh, well, thank you, officer. We'll do that.
Bye.
You figure they seen us, Pa?
Of course not. Can't no one see us way this tree comes down.
We got us a perfect hideout, ain't we? She's sure pretty, ain't she, Pa? The way the sun slants off her hair, sort of like gold.
Jezebel. All that pain on the face. Come on, let's go.
We gonna fetch him, Pa?
We're gonna fetch one of them into hell. No need for you to be beholden to me. Me and Jesse here admire to take you folks.
Oh, well, they say it's just back in the hills a bit.
Yep, just short piece. Old Granny Seaman, she's always singing them things. What'd you call them?
Ballads.
Yeah, that's it. I know she'd be proud to sing them for you.
And you say no one else, like us, I mean, ever came here to hear her?
No, sir, we're sort of out of the way, you might say.
This will be one in Carl Sandburg's eye. Does your friend talk?
Ain't my friend, ma'am. He's my boy, Jesse. He talks real good when he's a mind to.
Is that so, Jesse?
Well, now you're going to start on that boy.
Boy? He's taller than his father.
Now leave him alone.
Of course. What do you take me for? Reminds me of that officer. But better looking. Jim, I can't see a thing except this road and precious little of that. Let's go back.
What's the matter?
I don't like it. That's what's the matter. Where are they taking us? For all you know, they could be getting ready to shove us off a cliff.
Oh, please. That officer knew what he was talking about. The sun's set, and it's not so easy to scoff.
All right, I'm scared. I admit it. Now, will you turn around, please?
Well, you are frightened. Of course, my dear.
Something wrong?
My wife doesn't feel well. I'm afraid we'll have to turn back and put off our visit till another time.
It's only a little piece further.
I'm sure it is, but you'll have to forgive us. Thank you for your kindness.
You come all this way. Seems a shame to stop now.
Yes, but my wife...
She looks fine to me.
However she may look, she doesn't feel... Now, really, there's little point in talking about this. If you'll move your mule aside so I can turn around... Didn't you hear what I said?
We heard, mister.
Well, get out of the way. I don't want to hurt that animal.
Nobody's hurting nothing. Listen, you make me. This scattergun says that you do like I say.
Now, please, we...
Get out of that car.
What if we refuse? You can't kidnap us like this. We'll be missed. Yes, a police officer was talking to us just before...
He won't bother us none. You won't be the first that's disappeared in these hills. Hey, you come along right now, like we say. We won't hurt you none. Nothing will. Nothing. That's in this world.
I can't walk another step.
We gotta keep up with him. It's just over that rise ahead.
Well, you seem like a nice boy.
Ain't a boy, I'm a man.
Yes, I can see that. Let me lean on your arm. There, that's better. You won't let anything happen to me. Say you won't. I'm young. You know how that is, don't you? Well, it's different with my husband. And... Oh, won't you tell me what it is?
How come you married an old man like that?
Promise me you'll protect me. Will you promise me?
Hurry up, Jesse.
I promise.
What's that hole?
Ain't a hole, it's a grave.
Get on up here, Jesse. Time's almost run out. Real fancy, lady.
Where's my husband?
Old as brass, ain't you? Maybe we'll change that. Come in the house, Missy.
Now, don't be afraid, Lucille.
What do they want?
All right. You forced us here against our wills. Why?
You ever hear tell of
First, we let him know we got someone. Let him rest easy. Let him pick the one he wants it to be, so's he can die.
What is she talking about?
In here. Grandpa,
Grandpa.
Maybe we're too late.
No. See his hands moving and fingers. Grandpa? Ah, that's right. Open your eyes. Everything's all right. All right, see? Luther and Jesse got someone. Hold up the lamp so he can see him, Jesse. See, Grandpa?
I can't stand it.
Get up.
Which will it be, Grandpa? You show us, and that one it'll be, I promised you. Then you can drop off nice and easy and peaceful.
Make a sign, Grandpa. The man, the woman.
The woman looks like it wouldn't make much of a never mind to her.
The man. He's pointing to the man.
So be it.
It's all over. He's dead.
May the good Lord have mercy on his soul.
Amen.
Amen. Now, perhaps you'll tell us what you want me for.
Yep. Us folks through these hills come from Wales. Leastways, our old folks did. They brought certain ways with them, ways that seem strange to others. You ever hear tell of sin-eating?
Well, it's some kind of superstition, isn't it?
In this hills, it's a belief. It's true, just as true as sin.
It's one way sure a person can go certain to heaven. It's this way. A person goes sure to heaven by having all the sins he's been guilty of transferred to somebody else willing to have them.
And that someone is the sin-eater?
You're wise not to mock. That person is a sin-eater. At a death, the corpse is brought out of the house and laid on a bier. Then a piece of bread is brought out and delivered to the sin-eater across the corpse, and he eats it. Then a bowl of ale, which the sin-eater drinks off in a draught. After which he is given a bit of silver money. Then and there he takes on himself all the sins of the dead and freed him of them from walking the wide world or burning in hell.
And that old man in there, he was one of these sin-eaters?
Longer than anyone around here can remember.
And this is what you dragged us here for? This is what he's supposed to do? Eat bread and drink ale and take on the sins that the old man was afraid to die with.
Lucille, please. I'm sorry.
She's afeard, I reckon. She's got a right to be. She come so close to having sins done days and years before she was born, waited onto her soul.
It was too much for the old man when the time came. That's why we had to get you. So's he could die knowing he'd be free of them because of a sin-eater who'd come after.
But what if I refuse?
Refuse?
You've seen that grave out yonder. That'll hold both of you. If you don't hold Grandpa's yet of his sins.
Of course he'll do it. Now, tell them you will.
The wages of sin is death. You offer me death. Either way.
Of all the ridiculous mumbo-jumbo I ever heard of. I mean, after Freud and his friends, who believes in sin and eating them? These hillbillies are just too much. Jim? Jim, are you listening to me? Jim?
Uh-huh. Look, Lucille, I must get away somehow. I don't care what you say, or I won't take the slime from that old man, the foulness, the filth. Perhaps if I was younger or stronger, if I knew less or more, Look, I'm going to try to run into the trees, and then I'll...
No, he's watching. He's got the gun. And if you got away, what about me?
He likes you. I saw it. Just like all the other strong young men. Oh, I'm sorry, Lucille. I didn't mean that, but please talk to him, will you?
Ask him to let us go.
He won't.
Well, try. Try. For God's sake, try.
All right. I'll try. You poor old man. Jesse, I want to talk to you.
What do you want, miss?
Oh, just want to talk to you. I'll bet all the girls around here like to do that. Don't they, Jesse?
Got no gals around here. These ways not growed ones.
Like me.
I never seed one like you. Gold hair, smell like flowers.
Jesse, you like me, don't you? I like you.
Reckon I do. You make me feel... Fun is all I know. Different.
Jesse, let us get away. My husband and me. Now before the others come out.
That's what the sweet talking's for. So you and him can run.
Well, if I was alone, I wouldn't want to leave. But look at him. Poor old man. You see? He's afraid.
He'd ought to be feared with what he's going to do. But I'm going to make sure he does.
Your grandfather died happy. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Don't care if and he was happy or not. I hated him. Just a mean old man full of sin.
Then let us go.
No. Ma feels different about him. He was her pa. Besides time them sins was got out of here, one way or t'other.
Would you want me to be a sin eater?
Of course not. You heard me talk up in there for you.
But don't you see? When we're gone from here, my husband will force me to take them away from him. Just the way you mean to do it now. Please let us go, so he won't force me later. You could come to Pyrie then. I'd wait for you. You and I could...
Jesse, it's time. Come lend a hand.
Please, Jesse?
Don't you worry none, man.
Stand over the corpse.
No, do like she says. I won't. You can't make me.
You do it. Now, you just stand up here nice like. She told me how you treat her.
Don't hit me again. Don't hit me. Eat this piece of bread. Yeah. You
Drink this here ale.
You'll let us go, but... Now take this here silver quarter. Take it. You earned it.
Put it in your pocket. Now repeat after me. For these things given me.
Say like she said.
Yes. Yes. For these things given me,
I take on all the sins.
I take on all the sins
of this soul departed.
Of this soul departed.
So help me God.
So help me God. Leave him alone, woman. He just fainted. Get in the house. Come morning, we'll take you down the mountain. Take care of him, Jesse. Me and Ma will take care of your grandpa.
He's at peace now.
Where's my husband?
Outside if you want him.
Jim!
Don't need to be afraid, ma'am. Ain't nobody gonna hurt you.
Where's my husband? Jim!
Can't hear you, ma'am. Was you to shot through the widey world?
What?
I said I'd protect you.
Why are you digging?
Grandpa's grave's already used, making him another.
No.
You'll like it here. Peaceful and quiet. With me. You like me. Said so in the moonlight. I asked Ma, and, well, she said we can have Grandpa's room.
Stay with you? Here?
You said you'd wait for me and Pyrie here or there. What's the difference? Hello? All them sins safe underground where they can't never hurt you.
Hello?
Hold on, it's Isaac.
Help! Help, officer! He killed my husband. They brought us here. He wants to make me stay.
Easy, ma'am, easy.
Thank God you've come.
When you didn't show up in Pyrie, I come back to see. It wasn't but one turnoff, as I found your car easy.
Arrest him, officer. And there's another one. His father. Kidnapping and murder.
Wanting tongue control hollering back.
Look out.
What do you want around here? Oh, just listening to Miss Reed here. Don't pay her no never mind. Oh, she was saying...
Don't talk. Arrest them.
You hear that? She wants me to arrest you and Jessie, Pa.
Pa?
Well, what for, son? Oh, says you kidnap her and kill her husband. She's a liar. She come here to live with Jessie.
The police will come. They'll find me.
I'm the police, ma'am. I'm also kin to these folks. Seems like I'll be kin to you. My brother Jesse'll do right by you.
No.
Appears like you wandered into the wrong nest of natives, don't it, ma'am?
Suspense. You've been listening to The Sin Eater, written especially for Suspense by Bob Corcoran.
So long. Have a nice trip. Don't forget your phone.
Planning your vacation or a weekend trip? Well, long distance can be a big help. You decide where you want to go, then just pick up your phone and call ahead for reservations. Make sure of a good place to stay. And while you're away, it's so easy to keep in touch with home by telephone. Well, have a good trip, and don't forget the phone.
Suspense is produced and directed by Fred Hendrickson. Music supervision by Ethel Huber. Heard in tonight's story were Jim Bowles, Ethel Everett, Herb Duncan, Ivor Francis, Rita Lloyd, Doug Parkhurst, and Guy Rep. Sound patterns by Walter Otto. This is Stuart Metz speaking. Listen again next week when we return with Snow on 66, written by William N. Robeson. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
That's going to do it for Strange Tales for this week. Hope you enjoyed the episode today. You can find more from Suspense at relicradio.com, past episodes of this show, everything else, and our donate button if you'd like to help support this and all of the shows. Your support makes all of this happen. Thanks to those who have helped out. Thanks for joining me today. I'll be back next Sunday with another episode of Relic Radio's Strange Tales.